market in a lot of these different price ranges, right? With it being such a hot seller's market, you can't guarantee anymore that you're going to get any sort of a seller incentive.
Exactly.
Or concession. And so you need to make sure that you sit down ahead of time and get this thing planned out. The other thing is, what's the old adage? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? I mean, it really is true. People need to be able to take advantage of some of these amazing guidelines that we have right now and these amazing opportunities we have, because interest rates are rising, prices are rising.
Right.
People are, I mean, one of the most motivating single emotions, human emotions, we've talked about this before, is the fear of loss. There are a lot of people right now that are watching their friends and their coworkers make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. I just talked to a homeowner the other day who bought 2 years ago. Her house now is worth $100,000 more than what she paid for it, and they're going to end up selling that house. We're going to list it for them. They're going to sell it, and we're going to go help them move into a new one. She just had a baby, and they're out of bedrooms.
Yep, they're actually seeing a lot more upgrades now. Family size is getting bigger.
Yeah.
But I love your quote, and and to add to that is victory loves preparation.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get those offers accepted, if you want to win the deal, get in the home you want, and we're seeing people spending an average of 6 to 9 months shopping for a home.
Right.
That's very typical.
Yeah.
But inventory is, between a month to 3 months deep. It's not that much inventory.
Right.
So if you have your ducks lined up in a row, and one of the things that we do in advance is continuously have a complete package, a complete file up front. We dial everything in, so we can actually call the sellers and the listing agents and let them know how powerful the deals we have. And we've actually had transactions get accepted, not even being the highest price, but being the strongest offer.
Well, and let's talk about that for just a second, because if you're a buyer, and by the way, real quick, just before I forget about it, one of the things I was thinking about when you were talking is, if you think about this logically, right? If you're going to leave town today, and we just did, by the way, we just went on a vacation for a week and took the kids out. It was awesome. It was awesome. But the first thing we did was we broke out a map, right?
Exactly.
And if you're not old-fashioned like we are, and you're not using a map, you're using a GPS, whatever, right? Your iPhone, whatever, okay? Google Maps. But you're using a map. Why? So that you know where you're going, right? You can figure out what freeway you need to take, what highway you need to take, that kind of thing. And by the way, if you're driving into Yosemite, as you go into Yosemite National Park, this is just food for thought. As you're going into Yosemite National Park, the speed limits drop dramatically as you go. And there are highway patrol officers, God bless them, that are sitting at these blind corners. And one of them got me when I was going into Yosemite National Park. Yeah. So, and by the way, just so we're clear, I love the Highway Patrol. We love what they do.
Thank you.
They're awesome.
Have another.
Absolutely love them. Yeah. Thank you. May I have another. I got two, by the way, while we're gone. But here's the thing. And they're out. They're looking out for our safety. We love them. If you're leaving and you're heading somewhere, you're going to break out a map. If you're going to go buy a house, it's one of the single biggest investments you're ever going to make in your life. Go sit with Anthony, sit with your agent, and put a plan together and do it a few months ahead of time. Let your family know that you're looking to buy a house a few months ahead of time. One of the things that you mentioned that I wanted to make sure that I was very clear on is we use Anthony every day, and Anthony helps us to get our deals done. He helps our agents that are what we call our selling agents in the business. They represent buyers. He helps these clients get their offers approved. And it's very, very important that you understand that in a limited inventory environment, the value of having somebody like Anthony who could sell ice to Eskimos, just so we're clear, okay? He's going to be selling that listing agent on your deal. He's going to be selling you and your qualifications as a buyer to that listing agent. And it's incredibly important that you have somebody who's as talented and as experienced as Anthony is to be able to get on the phone and talk intelligently about why they should accept this offer from this particular buyer.
I appreciate that, Mike.
Well, I'm telling you, it's absolutely true, and I'm not exaggerating. Just so we're clear.
I'm not even going to play around. The beautiful thing is that I believe a lot of times people find the convenience with a large bank or an 800 number or some online institution. And the reality is if they're willing to give you a pre-approval in 20 minutes as they brag on their signs and you see them on bus benches and buses as they pass by,
right.
It's actually really an inconvenience.
Right.
Because we've seen many times where credit has never been checked, never been reviewed with a client. They get halfway through the process, their $5,000, $10,000 deposit that they put on a home is now in jeopardy.
Right.
So it's much more important to put that pressure curve in the very beginning of a transaction, get everything dialed, everything's buttoned up, and granted, is it pretty convenient to get an approval in 24 hours? Sure it is. But if I haven't looked at your tax returns, I would be very wary.
Right.
So we see a lot of that.
And we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
I've been in this business over 21 years, and we've seen thousands of real estate transactions, and we've seen tons of mistakes made.
Right.
And it's really interesting that you're the guy that's on speed dial when the deal that was the 24-hour pre-approval falls apart.
Right.
And it's in the middle of the deal, and the agent's calling you and going, please, please, please help me.
It's actually, sometimes I tell you honestly, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
You would think that's pretty good, but a lot of times when I see those things go sideways, it's because they should never have been
Yeah.
doing.
And if an agent's listening to this, if you're an agent, you're a professional in real estate, give Anthony a call. If you have a pre-approval and it's from some 20-minute lender that shall remain nameless, right? If it's a 20-minute pre-approval, it's not complete. Get on the phone with Anthony. It's 858-550-2580, 858-550-2580. He'll take a look at the approval letter, and he'll make sure that it's solid. Be sure to stay with us. We'll have more with Anthony Ramirez, our mortgage expert, and we'll discuss if now is the right time to sell. I'm your host, Mike Litton, and this is the Real Estate Zone, airing every Saturday morning at 8 on AM 1450, Financial News and Talk, KFSD.